Hello and happy Wisdom Wednesday. Thank you so much for tuning in and for choosing to spend some of your time with me. It's your girl, Milagros, and today is Wisdom Wednesday. Wisdom with a Z, like the Wizard of Oz, because when they arrived in Emerald City, he didn't actually have to give them anything. He just pointed out what they already had and what they were already using. So that's what I feel like is my role here with these videos. I just remind you of your capacity to handle your life, and I give you these small tools and techniques to help bring out those skills and those gifts, bring them to the forefront so that you can live happier and healthier lives. So let's get started. During the month of November, we are focusing on acceptance and appreciation. Today, I want to talk more about appreciation and operating from this place where you are cultivating a life of appreciation and living with an attitude of gratitude. Now, there's a couple of different ways that we can do this, which I will share. But first and foremost, we have to make a decision that this is what we want to do. You have to almost like make a declaration and say it out loud, write it in your journal, whatever it is. I am going to become a person who finds the good in everything. I'm going to become a person who appreciates life in all ways. And I'm going to become a person who has an attitude of gratitude. This is legitimately what I wrote in my journal a few years ago when I decided that I needed to become more grateful, because I found myself spending a lot of time whining and complaining, or feeling like my life and the things that I had and the people around me, like it wasn't enough, right? And I know, sure, I'm the only one who's ever experienced that. Not you. But if you have, then this is the perfect video for you, because it's going to help you get to a place where you can start cultivating that practice. So the first thing that you have to do is you have to make that decision. Make a declarative decision, like this is who I'm going to be, period. And when you make that decision, what happens is then this part of your brain kicks in and says, oh, okay, we've made this decision. Let's start working towards this. Does it happen instantly? No. Does it happen overnight? No. Does it happen in a week? No. Not even a month. For some people, not even a year. It takes practice depending on, for a lot of people, it depends on the momentum of the programming up until this point. So if ever since you were a baby, all your parents ever did was whine and complain, you have developed this programming and you have been instilled with this belief that this is how you do. You whine and complain, whine and complain, whine and complain, whine and complain. So to rewrite that programming might take you a little more time than someone who, whenever they hang out with a certain group of people, sometimes is complaining, sometimes is gratitude, right? So it depends on our programming and the momentum up until this moment. But there's still hope for everyone, because all we have to do is be consistent in practicing this, and then we will start living in this new space. So the first thing you do is make a decision. The second thing you have to do is you have to start paying attention. You have to start being more self-aware so that when you catch yourself whining and complaining, you can catch yourself, right? When you find yourself being negative or whining or complaining or feeling like it's not enough, you catch yourself. Now, initially, like I said, you might catch yourself a month later. Like, oh, back when, I remember that I did that, I missed it, right? And that's okay. Just, you caught yourself like, oh, check me out. I caught myself. Before, I would have not even noticed and I would have just kept spiraling. But now I'm paying attention, so I was able to catch myself. And then once you catch yourself, you want to make a shift. Even if it's like a teeny tiny little baby shift, you just want to make a shift, because in creating that shift, even if it's, oh, a month ago I missed it. Oh no, I can't believe I did that. Wait, this is a process. It's going to take time. I'm appreciative that I even caught it. Now let me think about that situation and something that I can find that was good from that. Let me think about that person and something that I can find good in that. Let me think about that event, that thing, that whatever, and find something that was good in that. And then by practicing that, even though it was already in the past, you're still residing in a current space of appreciation, right? So then you're appreciating yourself for recognizing that you caught yourself. You're appreciating the fact that this is a process and you're evolving and you even caught yourself to begin with. And then you find an actual moment of appreciation from that person, place, or thing, which again begins to cultivate this new way of aligning within you, right? And then the last thing that you would have to do here is practice. Practice gratitude. Now, I'm going to give you 3 easy ways that you can practice gratitude. One is to every morning, there are literally now, you can find gratitude journals everywhere. My friend Kimatra Maxwell has one as well, and the top of the page is like a prompt, and then it just gives you blank lines and you can fill them in, right? So I have so many gratitude journals. When I started doing gratitude work many years ago, I would just grab a journal, and at the top of the page I would date it, and then I would just start listing things that I could think of, little things, big things, small things, all the things that I was grateful for. Another thing is, so you can just write them down. Another thing that you can do is you can play gratitude games with your family and with the people around you, right? Before I start a meeting, I always ask everybody to think of 3 to 5 things, sometimes 1, depending on the size of the room, that they're grateful for, to either write it down or to share it out loud. And you'll notice that people who aren't used to practicing gratitude will have to really sit and think. And then people who do practice gratitude, they just go in, right? I did this workshop with high school students, and I had them all write 40 things that they were grateful for. And I'm like, and go. Some of those kids were like, through that list so fast, and then writing on the side of the page. Some kids had maybe 10 that they could think of. And it wasn't until I gave them permission and said, you can write socks. You can write shoes. You can write the fact that you have more than one outfit. You have a bed to sleep in. You have a roof over your head, indoor plumbing, warm showers, water that's healthy to drink, right? And they were like, oh, right? And then it just takes practice, right? It just takes practice. So we have to get better at practicing. We can do this with a list with our friends and family. We can just do it out loud. When my daughter and I drive to school every morning, we do our little morning prayer, and then we do 10 things that we're grateful for and 3 intentions that we set for the day in terms of our mental, emotional state, what we're bringing to the world, and then something that we want to accomplish. So that's how we do just to start our day off with gratitude. Before we go to bed, we think about 3 things, 3 highlights of the day. So that way every day feels like a good day. When one thing goes wrong, we're like, plot twist, and we keep it moving, right? And then at the end of the day, because we know we have to check in with those 3 things that we're grateful for, or those 3 highlights of the day, it feels like today was a good day. Oh, this low thing happened, but I was able to do X, Y, and Z. Oh, wait, let me add that to my highlights list, right? And then it's just practice. You can, a couple of years ago, my daughter and I had this huge jar that those pretzels come in. And I had strips of paper that I pre-cut and put them in a little envelope and some pens right on the table. And every day we would think of 1, 2 things. Usually it was 1 or 2. And we would write them down and date it and put it in the jar. And at the end of the year, when we opened this jar, we had over 800 things in this jar that had happened that were wonderful during the year. Little things, big things, magical moments. And we sat, I with my wine, and we both had popcorn, and she had like bubbly apple juice, and we just read through these things, and it was amazing, amazing. So this is a way that we can just cultivate this attitude of gratitude. And when you do, it is scientifically proven that practicing gratitude on a daily basis, it helps reduce stress. It makes your heart healthier. It makes your immune system stronger. It helps reduce clutter and stress in your mind. It's better for your mental health, and it can actually cure depression. What? True story. Like, this is scientifically based. So whether you're spiritual or not, this has been biblically in the Bible for over 2,000 years, saying, with all things have thanksgiving, be cheerful, rejoice always, right? And then over here, science is like, you know what? That's true. That's actually true. We can prove it now scientifically. So cultivating this attitude of gratitude is the best thing that you can do for yourself, for your family, for everyone that you love and everything that you love to do. And then, rein them in, bring them in with you. So that's what I have for today. I hope that this was beneficial. And I want you to know that I truly do appreciate you, because when one person takes out the time and is intentional about making themselves healthier and happier, the energy that you bring into the world changes the dynamic of the entire world, whether you realize it or not. It has these wonderful vibrations that changes the world for the better, including for myself and my daughter. So I appreciate you, 1, because you're choosing to make yourself better, 2, because you're choosing to make the planet better, and 3, because it literally benefits us, right? The energy benefits us as well. So thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your week and weekend and the start to next week. I hope it's super sparkly, everything, because you choose to be intentional about practicing appreciation and about cultivating this attitude of gratitude. And I love you so much. If you haven't already, subscribe, share it, comment, do you. All right, gotta go. See you next week. Peace.